So let's just face the facts. Whether you're a plumber, you're a nonprofit, you sell retail, you're in the toy industry, social media is a fantastic way for you to reach your audience, for you to spread awareness, and eventually to help these consumers through the buyer's journey to buy your product, your service, your offering. But how are you supposed to be on social media, right? You know that you're supposed to, but is there a certain way? Am I supposed to be on all of these different platforms? Social media, albeit a fantastic way to reach and educate your audience, can actually be a huge time suck and even a budget suck, depending on how much time and if you're putting any spend or money behind an ad spend there as well. So, I want to talk to you today a little bit about social media and how you should utilize it. The reason this came up is because last week I was in a strategic session with a nonprofit and we were focusing fully on their social media strategy. Right now, the organization has a fully transactional strategic direction, strategic guidance on social media, which means that they are merely posting just a post. Whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, they're going to create one post and they're going to share it to all four platforms, even though their audiences might be completely different. And frankly, they don't even need to be on all four platforms. And so I'm challenging them to rework that with us on how to engage your customers on social media and rethink, okay, if this is my target audience, I really only need to be on Facebook and maybe Instagram, or I just need to be on Facebook and Twitter, right? There's no proven fact that you need to be on all social media channels unless you have specific target audiences on all of those channels. But the reason that we're thinking through this is because social media is not a transactional tool, right? Maybe 10, 15 years ago when we first learned that social media was a way for people to buy products, and sure, that happens here and there, but it's really built as an engagement tool to drive individuals through a buyer's journey. So this is a great place for the interesting or for the interest and then the awareness phases of your buyer's journey where you're allowed to spread education, deliver some value, and then drive engagement and interest into your product or service. That's how you're going to funnel these individuals from your social media profiles to your website and eventually to conversion, potentially to your store if you're a brick and mortar. And so I'm challenging you, just like I challenged that brand, to rethink that a little bit, take a step back and say, do we need to post this content? And if you can look at yourself in the mirror, right, and say, why should my audience care that I'm posting this, that we're posting this? And if you can't give a good answer other than, well, of course they should care, then maybe take a step back, rethink it, and find a different way to engage your consumer. Because 3 posts a week on one channel that drive engagement with your direct target audience is more fruitful for your organization than 10 posts a week on 4 different channels to 4 different target audiences that aren't even in your system and they don't drive engagement. So take a deep breath. Social media is a great tool and you have a lot of possibility on there, but you need to think about it in a customer centric view. This is for them to learn more about you and honestly for you to learn a little bit more about them, but it's not a selling tool. That is later in the buyer's journey.